watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
Tony, welcome to Go.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
All right, you go in, Tony.
Good. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's
Wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
made it back with 10 seconds to spare.
Look at that.
Jeff went to go
Look at
pee.
that. Had to pee. Go
Feeling
ahead.
better? You good?
I do feel much better.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. It's Monday. Welcome to the Knockem Day Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you can find us. Please share the link to the show on all your socials. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. And there's a lot of great shows here, and we have some new shows coming your way, which I'm excited to announce in a little while. But in the meantime, we are back, and we are live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Hicksville. Sorry, I looked at my shirt on the screen.
I was gonna
in
say.
Levittown. And you're in trouble. I wore this because you said you were wearing a Hicksville shirt today.
You're right.
Yep.
You are right now that you mention that.
Son of a bitch bastard.
But it just so happens,
Yeah.
even though it's not the correct one, this is a Hicksville shirt.
Oh, it is. Oh, all right.
It
So
is.
my
It
apologies.
but it doesn't.
You said
Nah,
you were
I said I
going
was
to
gonna
wear
wear
a
a
non,
non-front.
but
Yes.
it doesn't matter.
I forgot.
It's still Hicksville, so
I
it
completely
counts.
forgot.
No, it counts. It counts. You're
All right.
you're good.
All right.
You're good.
I'll have to
So-
dig out the other Hicksville one now.
All right.
My brother got us all these Hicksville shirts for one Christmas some years back.
Yeah.
It's like a Hicksville original or something like that. It's cool.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
really
I did.
cool.
I just went on Amazon because I had the one Hicksville shirt, but it started to get holes in it because my belly's expanding.
Yep, it is.
So
I
I
noticed that.
so I went on Amazon, and I ended up buying 5 different types of Hicksville shirts, and this is one of them. So yeah. Shit, I was going to ask you something. I already lost it.
Were you going to ask me about Mother's Day weekend?
That was one of the things I had planned, but that wasn't it. But it doesn't
I don't
matter.
divulge the size of anything on the air. So it couldn't have been
Well, that I already know because I remember
Hung like a church mouse.
how much my mouth stretches.
Yes,
So I
yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
So hi everybody. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope you had a great Mother's Day. It's nice to be back. We have not been in here since Wednesday. And of course, that meant some of the shows weren't on because the whole studio was closed. But we got a full packed schedule this week, and I'm going to give that out shortly, including an announcement of a new show.
A new show.
That's right, and I think even you'll be excited about it.
Ooh.
All right, but yes, how was your Mother's Day?
Well, it wasn't my day, so it was nice. You know.
Well, not your Mother's Day, but the Mother's Day that
it
you
was nice.
participated
Yeah,
in.
Dude, the weather was beautiful.
Oh,
yesterday.
what a great day it was.
You know what? It was funny. Mary just wanted
Sex.
no,
Oh.
no, a lot of things, but it's probably almost satisfied with her. A lot of things from Lowe's from the garden section.
Oh, okay. That's
So
cool.
she was out gardening all day because that's what she wanted to do.
Ah.
I worked in the backyard getting the patio set up for the season. And stuff
that's nice.
like
You guys are
that.
out there working together.
Yeah. Well, she was in the front, I was in the back.
Oh, okay.
We find ourselves.
Are we still talking about the gardening?
Yes, gardening.
Oh,
yes,
all right,
yes,
all right.
working in the yard, and and then we barbecued. We had some nice filet mignon for dinner.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh my God, they were so tender. It was crazy.
Now, her mother's still around.
Yes,
So did she come over?
we actually went out there on Saturday to my sister-in-law's house, and she had a mother-in-law, father-in-law over.
Oh, so you got to stay home and just have filet mignons on the
Yeah,
barbecue.
on the barbecue. Yep, me and the
that's
girls, me, Mary, and the
nice.
girls.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a nice
yeah.
day, pal.
Oh, these things were tasty.
Where'd you get them?
Farmingdale Meat Market.
You know, I think it was you that actually have told me about that
You
place in the past.
Gotta go there.
Yeah.
Even if you don't buy anything while you're there, go there and sign up for their email list because you get notified of the sales. These filet mignons that were just, I mean, they're unbelievable. They're frozen.
Yeah.
You buy them in a frozen pack.
Right.
It's 10 4-ounce filet mignons.
Okay.
10 4-ounce, so that's just over 3 pounds,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Yeah.
$40.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's pretty
It's,
good.
it's one of their flash sales. It's while supplies last. It could be the end of that day and they're out.
Okay.
But you get the emails in the morning, and if
Yeah.
it's something you really want, fucking go and get it.
Really?
Dude, they're awesome.
I'm a big Carl Amer fan. Do you ever have Carl Amer
No.
meats? There's one down in Seaford, and I used to live down there, so
I've
it
heard
was
of it,
perfect.
yeah.
But then when I worked up in Glen Cove with the phone company, there was one, like, from my garage, it was like 2 stores down.
Hmm.
So every Friday, I used to just walk over, grab some meats, and bring it home. But yeah, never disappointed from
No,
either
huh?
store.
Right.
I don't know if the one in Glen Cove is still there, but the Seaford one's still there. But
I'm gonna have to try 'em.
Farmingdale Meat
Do
Market.
they have like those like flash sales, like really crazy good deals at sometimes, or you just kind of went in and
well, I
didn't
haven't-
care?
I mean, I've been out of that. I moved out of Seaford. I mean, I've been
Yeah.
off the South Shore for almost 3 years
A long
now.
time, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I'll have
know.
to check them out one day.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it is good.
I just I haven't gotten it from there yet, but my buddy Anthony, who turned me on to the place, loves getting their chicken cutlets there, their chicken and stuff.
Yeah.
Because some of the chicken you get now sucks. When you get it in, whether it's Stop and Shop or
Yeah.
whatever food store.
Okay.
You know, the only one, like, if we go to Stop and Shop, it's got to be their organic brand.
Yes, I've had that. It's good.
It's completely different texture than the other fucking brands. The other ones, it's horrible. The texture is absolutely horrible.
I'm still a big Purdue guy. Purdue chicken breasts, fantastic.
Oh, the texture's been good. It has been like,
Not
we
that
had
I've
some
noticed.
it was so weird, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's just get I'm not a big, organic person, and we probably should be, but we found that's got the great texture, and it's not all. It's just stuff is just weird.
And it's funny you say that because I've been having trouble for the past month or two finding good fresh broccoli.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like Stop and Shop. You look at it, it's like purple. Like, and I'm like, I'm not eating that. It looks old.
yeah.
And then where else? And then that farm by our house, by both of us.
All the way down Old Country.
No, the one right by
Best
us.
Market. Oh, they're a ripoff. Number one.
Yeah, but like first of all, you go into their frozen section, everything is like iced over.
Yeah.
But even their fresh food, like the vegetables.
Yeah, no, they're only good for like some last minute.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Nothing. You're not gonna go. Oh, I gotta go do your big shop for the week in Best Market. And Best Market's very expensive. But honestly, even with broccoli though too, it's like going through the crap that you've gone through, the crap that I'm currently going through. We should really be eating more organic because that shit is just sprayed with chemicals. I mean, I know we're in our 50s now. We're kind of screwed anyway, but there's no reason why we can't start to eat better in that sense now.
But honestly, that's the way I see it. Is that we're kind of screwed already.
Yeah, no,
Plus,
I get it.
and I'll be honest, I remember when I was sick, all I wanted to do was get back to my normal, and I didn't give a shit. Like even if that meant eating McDonald's 3 days or 3 times a day, like I just wanted to get back to my life. I didn't want to have to deal with cancer. I didn't want to be a cancer guy.
Yeah,
I just wanted to get back. So I'm definitely eating better than I was pre.
too.
And like you said, we're getting older. Like I'm thinking I have it probably at the most 30 years left. And that 30 years, as we know, goes by like that.
I hate that.
So, me too.
I remember when 30 years ago, we'd be like, I've been busting chops some of the old timers at work. Going, holy crap, you're turning 50? I'd tease one of my friends, like, man, you're turning 50, dude. And I was like, just about to hit 30 or something like that,
Right.
And I'd be like, oh my God,
And I'm right, because it goes so fast. So part of me is thinking, you know what? I'm just going to, I don't go crazy, but there is a part of me that just, I say screw it often. Where I'm like, I'm just eating this or I'm going to do this.
No,
I
I
don't
won't.
care.
I won't go for the McDonald's stuff. Maybe once or twice a year.
Wow, that's impressive.
You know what I usually do? I'll reward myself at McDonald's after my yearly fire department physical.
Okay.
Because you got to fast and the blood test, and usually
Yes.
and I starve myself all freaking day. So usually that's been like the once a year. But now I think I've already had it once this year. So
But that's the thing too. Like you talk about we're already screwed because stuff is sprayed and whatnot. McDonald's, like, I don't even know what those burgers are. They don't even look like meat, let alone taste like meat.
I know.
But the fries, I'm telling you, the
fries
fries
are
have cocaine in them because
They are
they're
the best fries ever.
Yeah, there's nothing
But
like it.
It's like there was this guy, I forget what it was. He had French fries.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Went right for a blood test, and you could see the particles in his
Oh,
blood.
yes.
That's terrible.
Yes, I don't remember who that was either, but I remember something
That's
about
terrible.
that. Good morning, sir.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question.
Sure.
All right. Is this show all about you two guys, or are you having a variety show here? You're talking about your families amongst yourself. Do that on your own time. Our listeners want to hear about other things.
Like what?
All right, your notes, your notes and your pictures and what you show us. You'll be gone for 4 days. All of a sudden, it's a Jeff and Tony show, and don't worry about all your listeners. I think that's very rude of you guys.
But this is what we always do. What are you talking about?
We have to start out slow before we reach the whole
climax. That's right.
The whole climax.
Yeah, climax. Oh my God, that's a big word, like marmalade and delicatessen with you guys. All right.
True. So,
Hiya, guys. How are you?
We're doing all right.
Doing good, doing good.
We missed you too, pal. We missed you too.
Oh, let me tell you, I'm glad everybody have a happy Mother's Day. I want to say belated Mother's Day to my girl Annie. All right, and I want to know that you text and say hello to your Tuesday co-host for Mother's Day.
I saw my Tuesday co-host on Friday, and I wished her happy Mother's Day then.
That was beautiful. Well, for all the mothers out there, all the listeners, Carol and Annie and everybody that's listening,
and Mickey,
belated happy Mother's Day. Mickey's not a mother.
Sure he is.
He could be a mother, but but he's not a mommy.
I'm a
True.
motherfucker. I mean,
Right.
Oh,
Exactly. Right.
Really. And $40 for 10 filet mignons. That's a score and a half.
Oh my
Yes,
God,
it
John,
is.
you have
Oh
no
my
idea.
God, that's great.
And they
Oh,
are
that's unbelievable.
absolutely delicious.
See, and I thought you were actually going to complain that we sounded like old ladies, talking about shopping in supermarkets. That's what I thought your complaint was going to be.
No, I do most of the shopping in my family. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a manly thing to do, to shop.
Oh.
I think that's wonderful. I don't shop for clothes, but as far as I think men should know good meat. I mean, listen, I'm a son of a butcher. My father taught me about meat when I was 3 years old, for Christ's sake. So I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, well, thanks.
All right. So listen, continue with the show. I just wanted to break your chops and yell at you. I haven't yelled at you for 4 days. All right. I'm happy that if you had a good trip, you're home safe. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
And just to let you know, the rain that you got last week, it's a torrential rainstorm. It didn't stop for like 12 hours down here. Yeah, so that's about it. All right, guys, keep your legs crossed. Talk to you later.
Always. See you later, Johnny.
See, I can't cross my legs, that insensitive son of a bitch.
Oh, bastard. Unbelievable. So, before we were so rudely interrupted, what were we saying? Going to the shit best farms?
Something with your friend Anthony.
Oh, that was about the chicken.
Oh, that was the chicken.
Yeah. So, but anyway, now just let's forgetting about food.
Yeah.
We
were talking about the cancer and McDonald's.
This past weekend marks my 1 year where I ended up in the hospital.
Oh, the day that you went in.
Oh, really started. I went in May 11th, which was last year was Saturday.
Right.
May 11th of 2024.
Wow.
Thought I was going in for a quick blood transfusion. I'd be home later that night, and I was home 2 weeks later. Now, here we are 1 year later. And,
so you were in there for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, 2 days shy of 14 of a full 2 week thing.
I remember the first time I visited you, you looked like shit. But everything you were telling me was good. So I said, okay, I just, everything looks like it's going to be okay.
My color was still a little off, you're saying?
Your color was very off. You were very pale, but also, how do I describe this? You almost had you were pale, but also like dry look, almost like you were like, you ever see like the footage of people like in the hot desert where the sand, where the sand doesn't look like, it looks like concrete and there's cracks in it and stuff. You almost look like that. You had like a hard, like a plastic, rough, like almost like a mannequin.
Like death.
I'm not going to go that far,
Yeah.
but you weren't too far from that. But
No, I wasn't.
but I won't go that far.
No.
But
Crazy, yeah, but here we are 1 year later.
yeah. But I do remember the second time I came to visit where you looked. You didn't look 100% better, but you did look like a guy who had been sick that's working towards getting better.
Yeah.
And I remember just feeling, And then I remember too, what was it? Maybe not even a month after you got out of the hospital, I'm driving down my block and there you are walking.
Oh, yeah.
I was so pleasantly surprised. I even said to you, "What are you doing?" I'm going for a walk.
Yeah.
We're what, maybe 2 miles away from each other?
Not even.
Not even a mile.
No. Yeah.
A mile. So, but for somebody who just got out of the hospital, walking at least a mile is pretty impressive.
That was those steroids they had me on, the prednisone.
Oh, okay,
I was
yeah.
doing 4 miles a night after dinner.
Wow.
In like an hour and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. I was walking at a clip.
Jeez.
Yeah. I'm hoping the weather's getting nice. I'm hoping to get back out there and do a little more walking. Treadmilling sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
boring
either.
As shit.
Yes.
You can put a TV in or you plug your ears in. Like, I'd rather be walking the neighborhood with my ears plugged in some music and stuff like I
Yep.
was doing.
Right.
You know, then the winter just ruins that. But luckily, I didn't gain a lot of that weight back. I've only put back under. It's less than 10 pounds, maybe 5 pounds.
But that's exactly the point I was
Everything I
making before. I just want to get back to my normal. If it means
Yeah.
gaining a little weight and going a little over, all right, but that's what I was before. I want to just get back to the guy I was. And believe me, same thing. I got, just before I got sick, I was pretty fat. And then I take that back. Even after I got sick, I got fat again. But I'm overweight, but I'm not fat.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable. And
I'd like
I'm
to
all
get
right with that.
Just 10 more pounds of this.
Yeah?
on. Yeah.
That was Well, all right. So it was the anniversary of you going in. So
It was like
almost
a new birthday.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I do that.
Kind of sense.
I do that with because they say to say you're cancer free is what you're supposed to go by your last round of treatment. Whatever treatment you get, you're supposed to go by when you finished. That's when you're supposed to go. So every May of 2003 was when I finished. So I always go by that. So this month I am 23 years cancer free.
Nice.
23? 22.
See, that's the only thing that's weird is I'll never be free of it because it doesn't go
True.
away. It just gets controlled.
Right.
It can be controlled until I'm 90-something years old.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but all right, but it's still controlled, which means you can live a normal
monitored,
life.
Yeah,
right.
monitored.
Yeah. This August will be 20 years since the amputation.
Wow.
Yeah, that I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around. I just
crazy.
can't believe it's 20 years.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're still here, so that's good.
And that's
So
fantastic.
now let's not bore John anymore. And
Sorry,
start,
John.
You know.
John just wants us to talk about him.
What your Mother's Day?
My Mother's Day, I'll read comments first because since I started going down there. Let's see. So Mickey's watching. Vicky says, Happy Monday, Vicky. And, of course, is watching. Good morning. My Kenny Friedberg is watching. Good morning, pal. Mickey Delaney. John, I have a new stripper name for Tony. Now coming to the stage is the one and only one-leg Tony Walker. All right, thanks, Mickey. Yes, that shithead Walker messed our routine up, says John. Carol's watching. Yay! Let's see. They're all having a love affair with each other. Okay, cool.
I give you more of an Italian name.
Oh, yeah?
Like an Italian food name almost.
Oh, yeah? What is
it?
Tony. What?
One-legged Tony.
One-legged Tony over here. Oh, I like that.
Right?
One-legged Tony
One-legged
coming
Tony.
to the stage. My Mother's Day was good. My mother and my brother and his fiance came over in the afternoon for lunch. We sat there watching the Met game.
Mm-hmm.
We just ordered pizza, nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to Lisa's mother for dinner, where we grilled up just burgers and dogs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But Lisa's mother has a cat. And I said to Lisa I wasn't thrilled about the idea of going there because of the cat. We get there, she takes the cat, throws it in the upstairs bathroom, which is fine and dandy, and I appreciate the effort. However, there's still cat hair all over the house.
Vacuumed up and cleaned
right.
up first. You're screwed.
So we were there for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and sure enough, I start to feel my eyes getting itchy, watery. I start sneezing. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. So her mother says, well, I have Claritin. And I was like, I don't know. Lisa's like, take the Claritin. She gets me one. I throw it down. We go home. Now when we go home, like I spent the morning with Lisa, went with her to church, and but we didn't really, other than church, we didn't really spend time together.
Mm-hmm.
So we get home from her mother's, I don't know, between 7:30 and 8. I'm thinking, all right, now it's family time.
Yeah.
Me, her, and Zach are going to watch a movie together. I don't even last an hour. And I even said to Lisa, you sure that wasn't drowsy? Because I am shot. I went to bed, I think it was like 9. I went to bed, and I was out. Man, I was out. But by the time I went to bed, too, I was freaking, my eyes were heavy. Water's running out of my eyes. I'm sneezing. I wake up this morning still like kind of shot. So I just knew it. Like, no, that had to have been drowsy. Sure enough, I talked to her this morning. She goes, yeah, it turns out, she goes, we mistakenly did give you drowsy.
Yeah.
Like, son of a bitch. Because that happens every time, no matter what allergy pill I take. If it's drowsy, it screws me up for a good 24 hours, man. So I got up late this morning. Jeff got here at 10:40. I was walking in at the same time, which is not me. I couldn't tell you the last time I was that late coming in here. I'm usually in here about an hour earlier than that. So running around trying to get everything done, and I actually think I did get everything done in here. Thank goodness. But, yeah, so it kind of ended on a weird note. But, but all in all, it was fine. And I'm sure Lisa was fine to send me to bed so she can.
So you don't bug her for
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't have me hanging all over, which is what I do. Carol, Mike's last PET scan showed no evidence of cancer. That is fantastic.
Outstanding.
Wow, that is such great news.
And thank you, Ann. Appreciate that.
Jeff, you look great for all you've been through. Congratulations, Tony, on 20-something years free. Yes, thank you, Ann. I wouldn't say Jeff looks great, but he doesn't look sick.
And that's the important thing, right?
Exactly.
That's the important thing.
22 years. Yeah, and then
wild.
Yeah, and then 20 years since the leg. Yeah, that's crazy.
I remember the phone call you telling me on the phone. We
Really?
lost touch for a little while there, and then we were on the phone one day catching up, and you told me, and I was like, "What the?
No
what the
kidding,
hell,
yeah.
man!" You threw me off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, 20-some years. That's insane.
Yeah, it is. It's nuts.
Oh, Lordy.
But you know what? What's good though is that my kids don't remember any of that stuff. So I remember the first time I had to go. So I started chemo, then we stopped chemo. We took a break from the chemo for a month, maybe 2 months, to have my first surgery on because we tried to save the leg. 13-hour surgery. I was in the hospital for a little over 3 weeks, which brutal. What a lousy experience that was. But I remember coming home, my son all excited to see me. But then I remember even after the amputation, both of my kids they were totally freaked out. But yeah, they were so young. My son was 4, Sammy was 6. 6. No. Yeah, Sammy was 6. So yeah, Zach was 4 at the time. Yeah, going on 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, luckily they don't remember any of that stuff, or even the chemo, me being sick.
Yeah,
yeah, that's probably the best part.
Yep.
Of that whole mess. So I was also tired because I just had this crazy trip to Boston. You know what? I didn't prepare any pictures to show you guys.
Oh, and I was going to ask, how did the show in Boston go?
Let me see. I could probably do this real quick. I could get some pictures over to the. Let's see here. So we had a good time. So yeah, you guys, I'm sure have noticed that our Tyler is not here today.
No tie. Again, second week in a
row, and it'll be 3 weeks in a row because
he's still going to be over there.
Yeah. So our Ty went. So he started last week, and I was complaining about it here on the show, that he went to
Minnesota.
He went to Minnesota to film something. Let me see. So he went to Minnesota to film something. He went to Minnesota to film something. He then also So sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once, and I'm not doing this well.
Well, he could have used us for his Minnesota gig. If he only asked us, we could have.
I know. I'm putting him in a million different shows. He didn't ask us to go to Minneapolis with him. Prick.
Unbelievable.
And I told him, since he's not here, we will be talking about it.
Oh, he's let's see. In Italy,
so it's probably around what 6?
It's about
6 at night then.
About 5:30. Yeah.
Yeah, 5:30.
4:30, 5:30.
He So he started the week in Minneapolis filming something, and he was flying back here Thursday morning, and we were supposed to be leaving Thursday afternoon. So I was complaining on this show because I figured he wasn't giving himself a lot of time.
One little
to
delay,
get here.
one little burp in the airline.
And that's the
industry,
thing. Plus, it was supposed.
He's missing his ride.
And they called for rain on Thursday. So I was pretty nervous. So Thursday morning, so we're not doing the show here. Sure enough, I get a text 7:30 in the morning. It's a picture of him on his plane. So I'm like, oh, perfect. He's on the plane. He's coming here. Great. He is in Hicksville. He took the he took the train. Yeah, he took the plane to JFK. Then took the train to Hicksville. Was in Hicksville by 12:30. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Jumps in the car with me. We then drive out east where we get a ferry, and then we get back in the car. But it was raining like crazy. There was traffic. We did a total of 6 hours of travel just to get to Boston, which
One way.
yeah, which really kind of sucked because we were planning on getting there earlier and checking into our hotel, getting settled in, getting our stuff together, and then going to the show. But because we got there so late, we got there at 7 o'clock.
Oof.
Showtime was 8.
Oh, my God.
So I turned to everybody. I go, look, I said, I'm sorry. I said, but we're going to have to go straight to the show. We're not going to be able to go to the hotel and, wind down, unpack.
Freshen up,
Yeah.
yada, yada, yada.
It's just not going to happen. Luckily, they were feeding us at the show.
Oh, thank God.
Yes, thank God is right. And the food, this was some fancy hotel, the Renaissance, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And it's right next to Gillette Stadium.
Okay.
So this was a fancy hotel. Like the rooms were like, they were like a few $100 a room.
Yeah.
So it was not where we were staying.
Right. Oh,
We stayed at a hotel about a mile away, which was like,
a few bucks a room.
Exactly. Exactly. And I told the guy, I said, look, I love you, but I'm not spending a few $100 per room.
No.
That's pretty much my
It would
profit.
defeat the purpose of
Right.
going there.
But at least they fed us. We were able to get there, eat, and then get ready. The food was fantastic. I think it was a filet mignon, some kind of steak. I don't even remember, but it was delicious. We had a great show. They loved it. And it always helps when our audience is drunk. And most of them were drunk.
Good.
So, we had a great time. Coming back, we had rain the whole way, but it only took us 6 hours. Took us a little under 5 to get home. Yeah.
Still,
But
that's a while.
It was a
Especially in
while.
Crappy weather.
We spent more time driving in a van than anything else. We didn't even get to see Boston because we got there so late, did the show, went back to the hotel, just hung out for a while, then went to bed, and we left at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we didn't even really get to see anything.
No, not at all. No
Plus, by the time I got back, returned the van that I rented, everything, it was probably about 3 o'clock. And then 3 hours later, I had to be at PAL basketball, special needs basketball. So I immediately went right back into normal. Like, I didn't even really have time to rest. And then Saturday afternoon, we had a show here in Patchogue. So, so I was just running. Yeah, it was a crazy weekend.
in combination with your possible Claritin drowsy,
Yes.
you were exhausted on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely. But the main thing is we had good shows, and lucky for Tyler that he made it here. So I do have some footage. I was able to manage to get it together here. So let's see. So let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I thought there were more photos. I could have sworn I had a photo from the show. Bear with me here. I'm sorry.
I did see something of him and a girly.
Well, yeah, that I'm going to show you in a second. Yeah. Let's see. I thought. How do I do this?
Yeah, I didn't see you put anything more up the nose.
Oh, yeah, that was it, though?
Yeah.
Just those 3?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. So this first picture I'll show you is a picture of Tyler. This is on the ferry. I don't know if he's trying to wink or if he was drunk. I'm not really sure what's going on here. It was a little bit of a stressful weekend. So there's me in the back, and then in between us is Shelly Manzaline. I think that's her last name. Forgive me, Shelly, if I'm screwing that up. She's an actress friend of Tyler's. So what happened was I booked the show. I always tell the actors because we don't have like a regular schedule. You know, we just have clients that call us up asking for shows. So I always tell the guys, hey, look, you got something coming up, personal, work, whatever it is, you got to let me know. It takes 2 seconds to write an email. Hey, I'm not available this date. That way I know if I'm booking a show, I might not book something on that date, or I know, okay, if I book this date, I got to find a replacement for so and so because he said he's not around.
Yeah.
So I booked this show in Boston. Nobody told me they weren't available, and I had 2 guys said they couldn't come, and then one, her husband was having surgery, and it was kind of a last minute thing. So I had 3 people immediately who couldn't go. I'm like, oh shit, what am I going to do? So I'm asking around. I'm trying to find some, people. I asked a bunch of acting friends. I had one said she would love to do it, but she's not sure if she can swing it. She'll let me know. She doesn't let me know for 3 weeks. So of course I'm looking around.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off because this girl's worked with us before. She's fantastic. Sure enough, after I cast it, she's like, did you cast it? I'm like, yeah. She goes, oh, I was going to come. I was like, what the? I was really scrambling to find people. So Vicky, who watches the show every day, has seen us she's seen us, I think, twice, and she loved it. Vicky, I don't think really has much of a performing back. She has sung in choruses and stuff, but as far as acting, it's very little to almost no experience. But she offered. I was like, all right, fine, come do it. And then Tyler hooked me up with Shelley, who I had never met before, knew nothing about. I spoke to her once on the phone, and she's a professional actress. She seemed to get it. I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. So and then Tyler himself, the show we were doing, he's worked with us before, but he's never done this particular show. So basically I had 3 people that had never done this show before, and one who hasn't even worked with us, seen us, nothing. Mm-hmm. And all of us that were in the show, we had 1 rehearsal on Zoom, and that was it.
Oh, God.
So I was a little
it could
stressed
be a little nerve-wracking.
going in. So that was a picture of us on the ferry. I think this is us on the ferry going to Boston. We're on the ferry. We're heading to Boston.
So the Vicky is
here.
the Vicky that was here with
Steve's
us on the
here.
show that time? Okay.
Shelley's here.
Vicky from Rochester.
Paul's here. James is here.
At least
On our way to Boston to kick
nice
some
going
Knockem comedy
over.
ass.
Was it nice coming home?
It's beautiful out. Look at this. Beautiful
That's
out.
the going over.
Yeah. I called in my connections, made sure we had a nice day. Tyler's always smiling. He's the happiest guy going. So, all right, that's the ferry going. So, and I'll show you now a picture of Tyler. This is the role he played. There he is. He played my daughter. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, I didn't realize he's at a urinal. I just realized what this picture is. So, so we had a great show. But I didn't know what we were getting until we were there, basically. Vicky complained the whole time. She thought she was terrible. She just annoyed the shit out of us as usual. But her performance was okay. She did a super job, and I'm very grateful that she did it. One thing I didn't tell the cast, because I always tell the cast, it's like a big rule, but I didn't tell these guys. They were new, and I'm running around doing things. We have strict rules. We don't drop any goddams. We don't drop any Jesus Christ, and we don't drop any F-bombs. Mm-hmm. Well, Vicky's out there for 5 minutes, and she drops an F-bomb.
Oh,
jeez. I was like, oh, damn it. And I'm like, all right, I got to figure out a spot where I can go tell her, don't do that. But before I could get an opportunity to go tell her, she did another one.
Oh, good Lord.
I was like, son of a bitch. So finally, I make my way over to her, and I cover my mic. I'm like, don't drop any F-bombs. She's like, okay. And then sure enough, Tyler, twice in the show after that, he drops 2 Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not like, I go to church, and my wife is very, she's a very a faithful person. It's not like, my ears. It's not like that. I don't personally ever say goddamn or Jesus Christ. But to me, it's just Jesus Christ, goddamn, an F-bomb, and the see you next Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Those are the 4 words to me, in my opinion, that can still offend unless you're using a racial term or something. Uh-huh. Those are the 4 words that you can still offend a good amount of people in an audience.
Yeah, easily.
So, or any public setting.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a strict rule I have, but I did forget to tell these guys. So when they were doing it, I was like, But we, other than that, we had a good show. For for a group that only had one rehearsal, they pulled it off well. You know, for me personally, yeah, you know, we lost some lines here and there, and things were a little sloppy. But that's just, in my opinion, as the guy who wrote it and directed it, I'm watching everything.
Yeah.
But it was a high energy, good time. The audience loved it, and that's all that counts. Everybody contributed. Everybody was, you know, good with their characters. And I think I have one more.
Maybe you'll get more business out of it.
Well, I think we might, actually. A lot of
be
people
great.
took our info and stuff.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I think this video is us leaving the hotel Friday morning saying goodbye. We had a great show last night here in Boston.
In the No-Tell Motel.
They loved us. They said it was the best entertainment they've had. It was some kind of financial group, and they were having a conference, and we were the end of their conference. So this is our hotel. It's called America's Best Value Inn. We're in Foxborough, Massachusetts, right outside of Boston. Where we did the show was right next to the Gillette Stadium. So we're getting ready to leave. There's the van we rented.
I do recall that.
And we're getting ready to leave. We had a great time. We got in probably around midnight last night. Had some breakfast. Now we're about to head back. It took us 6 hours to get here, so you couldn't believe it. There's everybody. All right, so say that again, in case they didn't hear while the video was playing.
Just watching the clip, I remember a show a little while back, not all that long ago, talking with Tyler and about him changing his look, and he does some Just for Men and his scruff sometimes, and then we discussed maybe you should try that and dye your beard, and you agreed to it, but it just hasn't happened yet.
Did I agree to it?
But I could swear you did. I thought so. Without Ty being here, I can't confirm, but I'm pretty sure you did. Because you're open like that.
I'm open to a certain degree. Yeah, I am not a fan of dyeing. I like people, men and women.
I'm not a fan of dyeing either, but
well, true. People, men and women that go gray. I like, a little gray in women. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I just don't feel it always looks good. It looks fake to me. I don't know, but I don't know. If it really meant something to the role, I would have done it. I have shaved for a role, for a role. I don't know. I personally think it would look ridiculous.
I don't know.
But if you guys in the cast all said, it would really make a difference in this role you're playing if you dyed it. I honestly, I think I'd rather shave it than dye it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I think what else did we talk about? Going goatee, maybe.
Oh, I've done that. Yeah. I was thinking of really shaving it tight because in the '80s that was the look. Like Don Johnson on Miami Vice, he always had that like 2-day-old shadow.
That's still a thing.
Yeah, but back in the '80s, I think it was more of a thing. I could be wrong. That's how I remember it. Like George Michael in his heyday, he had that really close, almost very maybe 1 or 2 days more than what you have. I was considering trimming it down to that. I couldn't tell you the last time I had it that closely shaved. The last time I shaved the beard was in 2016. I had to play Teddy Roosevelt at a children's event. So I grew the mustache out more to make it more bushy like Teddy Roosevelt, and I shaved the beard. And it almost looked like a bad Freddie Mercury, because Freddie had that thick mustache.
Yep.
That's kind of what it looked like to me. I mean, thankfully I'm Italian, so I had a beard back within, 5 minutes. So, I just grew it right back. But I remember 2010, I think, was the last time I went completely 100% clean shaven. I had people coming up to me like, you got to grow that back. Like, trust me, I know. Let's see what's going on here. John, first you guys bring up fat, next you bring up cancer-free. Are you guys going to make me feel bad? Fremder, could have fooled me. Always thought Tyler was a fairy. Jeff Bosey, that's right. Cheese and rice. That's right. Bosey, when he first was in Knockem Dead Comedy, holy crap. What did it take you, like 5 shows before you got in the habit of not saying those words? You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, there he goes. I'm not saying those words. Definitely open to a certain degree in 360 degrees. I like the white beard. It looks like you fell chin first into a bowl of rice. Okay.
From the says our shirts look like that we're candy corn.
Oh, I missed that
candy
one.
corn.
It kind of does.
Maybe.
Well, we're both wearing Hicksville shirts, and orange and black are Hicksville colors.
They are.
So we're Hicksville today. We're Hicksville. All right. What else? Oh, you know what else? I was pissed. Do all that driving, come back Friday afternoon, looking forward to getting some sleep Friday night, but I have to get up. Like I said, I had PAL basketball Friday night. I have PAL bowling Saturday mornings. We get up, we rush, because of, Lisa and Sammy are always running late.
Girls, it's their thing.
I didn't say that. He said it. I'm specifically talking about Lisa and Sammy, who happen to be girls.
If you're not early, you're late.
Well, right. And they're always late. We rush on down to the bowling alley. It's Wantor Lanes. We get down there. It's like, 10:40, 10:45. Starts at 11. But we run it, so I like to get there early so we can get ourselves together. But the parking lot is packed. There's not a single spot. What the fuck is going on here? The place doesn't even open till 11. We walk in. Every lane is full. They're having a big, giant tournament with teams, like people in uniforms and shit. I'm like, what the hell? I go over to the guy in the counter. He says, "Oh, you told me this is a blackout day for you." I said, "No, I certainly did not." He goes, "Well, we have it on the calendar as an open day, so we booked this tournament." I said, "Yeah, you booked the tournament without telling me." I said, "You guys screwed up. That's what happened here." I said, "No." I said, "We're not coming in Memorial Day weekend." I said, "But I never told you this weekend was out for us." So then there's two entrances to this bowling alley. So Lisa has to stand at one. I have to stand at the other so we can tell people as they're pulling up, "Sorry, no bowling today." So I was freaking pissed.
Yeah.
That blew chunks. And I could have slept in.
Yeah. How many lanes do you guys normally take up?
We take up quite a few. But we take up, I think, 17, 18 lanes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. We have
okay.
We have almost 70 kids at our bowling program.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so waiting around for lanes to free up
Oh,
is not an option.
And that wasn't even the case. This was a tournament, so this was going on all day. Every single lane was taken up. This place was mobbed. However, I was not as pissed as Mets catcher Luis Torrens.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you caught this yesterday. You didn't catch the Met game?
I did not. I was yard work and barbecuing, and I didn't see anything of the Met game yesterday.
Luis Torrens, he's one of the Mets catchers. If you want him, sure, if you go on YouTube or something, you can find it. So he's back there. He's catching. Pitcher throws the ball. I don't think it was a foul tip. I think he had the mitt out. I think he just missed it. The ball went under. I mean, it was a square shot. You cannot get a shot any better than this. Hit him right in right in his boys.
Right in the huevos rancheros.
Yeah. He goes down. He just lies flat down on the ground. And at first, the announcers, it was Gary Cohen and Joe Girardi. They're making jokes. "Oh, yeah, that stinks. We've all been there." And sure, we've all been hit in the nuts a few times. It's not a good feeling.
No.
But it is one of those things when you get hit there. It sucks, and you don't feel back to normal for about 10 minutes. But it's one of those things, like, when it happens, you're almost laughing at the same time because people are just going to pick on you. It's just one of those things. But Luis Torrens, he was laying down motionless for a good 3 minutes. Finally, Gary Cohen says it. He says, we're sitting there joking. He says, but if you look at Torrens, he goes, he's laying face down in the dirt. He goes, he hasn't moved. So then, the whole tone of the thing changes. Like, what's wrong here?
Flat.
Just flat.
Not on his knees going
like
this or nothing.
No, laying flat on the ground, his face, not sideways on the ground, nose in the dirt. So even us at home, we're like, is he unconscious? Like, what happened here? And then eventually he does, I'm telling you, it was a good 2 or 3 minutes, just laying flat. He does eventually get on his knees, so the place applauds. But even then, he's on his knees for a good minute. So we're thinking, at first you're thinking he's feeling better, then we're like, oh, maybe not. Finally he gets up, but they take him out of the game. So it turns out after the game they talked to him, and he said, I don't know. He goes, maybe I've been hit there one too many times. He goes, it just was extremely painful, and I was, really hurt. So they just felt it was best to take him out. But I couldn't believe it. Like, oh.
But, I mean, he's got to have a cup on.
He did. He said he had a cup on. But, I mean, I don't know.
I guess still.
I remember those days
90
wearing
mile-
cups.
90 mile an hour.
Exactly.
Cup.
And it protects, but it doesn't take the pain. Like, I remember getting hit in the cup plenty of times and feeling pain.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it makes a difference, but it's still painful to a certain degree. So, I felt bad for that son of a bitch, man.
At least they won.
But, yes, they did win. Yes. So, yeah, he took one for the team.
Oh, yeah.
Bosie says it was 2 shows. No, it wasn't. No way. Oh, we're going to fight tonight. I'm going to see Bosie tonight. We're actually filming some Comic Sans here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. Nice shirt. You guys look like a construction site in a bad neighborhood. That's actually pretty funny. That's really funny. Also, what pissed me off, I should have brought the video. I didn't even think of it. So, I'm getting ready to leave on Thursday. The mail comes just before I mean, literally about 10 minutes before I leave. Now, Zach's car, he has a, I'm having a brain fart. He has a car. But it's in my name, you know, and my insurance and whatnot. So, you know, all 5 accidents he's had, you know, my insurance goes up. Every red light camera he's blown comes to me. And, yeah, this time, it was his second going past a bus ticket. That comes to me because it's all under my name.
That's a lot of money, that one.
Oh, yeah. So as soon as I see, I don't even open the envelope yet. I just see school bus, and I see my name, and I just know. Zach blew into the bus.
Really?
I open it up. See, here's the thing, though. So, yes. If you're going the opposite way, you are still supposed to stop.
All directions.
All directions. Even if there's a median. And in this case, there was. But, and I'm not gonna fight the ticket, but a part of me felt like fighting the ticket. They must, the courts or whoever, you know, makes the money off these tickets must have made a bundle on this alone, because the bus was going south. There had to have been 20 cars going north, including him. He was actually, at first I'm like, what am I watching here? Finally, towards the end of the video, you finally see him go by. I'm telling you, had to be 20 cars going in the other direction. They're thinking, you know, that just don't know the rules. So I'm like, yeah, they made a killing off this one incident. But now I've talked to plenty of people like in the past about this, and I'm sure you have too. You'd be surprised how many people don't know the rule. Like if you think, so a lot of people think if there's a median and it's a main road and you're going the opposite direction, you don't have to stop.
Gotta stop.
But and believe me, I'm with you. In my head, I'm like, you stupid bastard, don't drive then. Know the rules. So I can understand to a certain degree Zach being confused, but right in front of him, and you see it in the video, who also keeps going, is a cop.
Really?
No lights. He's just driving normal like everybody else. He or she is driving normal like everybody else. So I don't know. I saw that. Part of me wanted to go to the court and say, hey, look, he sees a cop in front of him driving. You know, if the cop's not stopping, why, you know, nobody, you know, but I'm like, and believe me, I am not anti-cop. I know that a lot of people have issues with cops. I am not one of those people. I love the cops. And that's probably why I chose not to fight it, because you know what? I'm not going to blame a cop for anything.
Yeah,
just like firemen too.
Yeah.
You guys deserve everything you get, every fringe benefit, every discount, every free time, you know, medical bennies, all of it. You guys deserve all of it. So, yeah, I'm like, at first I'm like, oh, freaking cop is driving. But I'm like, the last thing I'm going to do is report a cop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, screw this. And Zach, $275.
Crazy.
For that ticket.
Yeah.
Yep. So that started off my drive to Boston. It's like, motherfucker.
Well, he is working, isn't he?
Oh, he's paying. The first one he got was $250, and I paid it. No, sorry. No, we're not doing that anymore. Zach's going to be 25 in November. No, we waited way too long. We just started charging him rent this past January. He's been paying me a little bit every month for his car that I think I've bought him 5 cars so far. And I even said to him, I think it was after the third, I started saying, hey, look, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
After this one, though, I told him, I said, this is it for me, man. I paid for...
Start saving.
Right. I paid half of his school. I bought every freaking car. And he's been living rent-free. Now, I understand he's trying to get into an occupation that's very hard to get into, which is why we kind of let it slide for a while. He graduated from college. This year will be 3 years. But it takes time to network and get your name out and find steady work. And it has. This past year, it seems like his work is paying off. He's starting to get calls, and he's starting to get some jobs. But that's why we're like, all right, we have to start paying rent. Get him to start paying rent. And that's why I told him, I can't keep buying new cars. This is it.
No. Gets to be a bit much.
Yeah. And again, you're 25. I didn't have that luxury back at that age. 25, I was already married for the first time, and I bought my first house at 25. 24. I bought my first house at 24. I'm not saying he should be there too.
Yeah, they're not like that these days.
No. And believe me, there is a part of me that feels too. I bought my house too young. I was too busy saving money. I should have been going out and doing things more. So I'm not saying he should be like me, but there should be some level of responsibility going on.
Oh, yeah.
But, who buys their kids all these cars? And don't get me wrong, I'm not buying new cars.
I bought all my cars.
Yeah, right. Same here. I bought all my cars. I've only bought one brand new car. Everything else my life's been used.
You had a single parent being brought up by. I was brought up by a single parent. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
But next to no money. Yeah.
Right. And I'm not complaining either, but I guess I am complaining, but my complaint is at just about 25, you have to start taking some responsibility for your shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, blowing a red light camera, isn't that how Mexicans take family photos? Oh, friend. I can't believe I read that. The opinions and expression of
solely
Andrew Fremder. You can find him at inkblots.com.
Oh, God.
Crazy shit. All right. So a couple of things that I came across that I wanted to talk about. You had mentioned before we went on the air.
What was that?
P. Diddy.
Oh, yeah.
You said that they're just about done with the jury selection.
Supposed to be done with jury selection today, and the trial should be, I imagine, getting a start date.
That guy sure looks like he's screwed, and if everything we've heard is true, then he should be screwed.
Yeah.
He deserves everything he gets, and hopefully he gets what he does deserve. But I was, and I didn't even tie this with this. You just happened to bring it up, but I was reading this morning an article about Hugh Hefner. Some of his ex-lovers are speaking up.
Yeah, there's been some specials too, some network specials like.
Has there?
Yeah, I think on Netflix maybe had something.
I'll have to look for that.
Yeah, very interesting stuff.
And Netflix, they also have that. Was it Netflix has a new one about Diddy also, which I haven't seen yet. Was it Netflix? One of them. Yeah, Amazon, one of them. Yeah. There is a new Diddy documentary.
Yeah, it's like they're doing updates. Every time something happens with Diddy, they do an update, and there's like a half.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
But Hefner?
Hefner. Holy crap.
Yeah, he was a freak.
A big freak. Yeah. And sick in the head.
Yes. Yes.
So, one woman claims that... Now, I'm not a big fan of people who come out with this shit after somebody's dead. Fucking speak up and make them face the music. And you face the music, too.
I think they feared.
Well, that is the case with some of them. Yeah, and I'll get to that. So... Oh, Zach, you're killing me. He's texting me with all sorts of shit, and I can't talk because I'm on the air.
He must know what talked about his driving. But yeah, that's. Let me see if I can find what the Netflix special was. It was really, like I said, it was crazy, crazy interesting. Let's see, and yeah, like I said, a lot of the a lot of the Playboy bunnies, as we'll call them, but they feared for their life if they were to say anything
yes, and
negative and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that is one of the items I have here. So, there was a bunch of stuff. So, well, the first one woman is claiming that she caught him having sex with a dog.
Dog.
Yeah.
I almost think it was a German Shepherd.
He gave these girls Quaaludes, and apparently Quaaludes were all over the place. So that these girls, apparently not just for him, they would just say yes because they were so whacked out, but apparently other guys that were hanging out in the mansion could, have access to these girls. He hated the girls wearing red lipstick because he wanted them to look young and fresh-faced.
Excuse me.
He wanted skimpy and fresh-faced and very young-looking. If a girl was over 18, she was done.
Really?
Excuse me, not 18. Sorry.
Say, hold on.
28. Sorry. But even still, 28. You're legal, but that's not.
Yeah.
That's nowhere near done or old or anything like that. He kept photos and videos of these girls doing crazy things, and he called it his revenge footage. So in case any of these girls said anything or left, he'd have stuff to blackmail them with. He had a recruiter, as he called it, who would get new girls to come to the mansion and sleep with him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He would keep track of who he had sex with and on what nights, because he kept them all on a $1,000 a week allowance. So he would also keep track of who he paid and what day he paid them, because he was afraid that, because there were so many of them, he was afraid that one might come back and ask for the weekly allowance. Meanwhile, she already got it. These girls were not allowed to leave. They were not allowed to have friends over. And he kept a 9 p.m. curfew.
And if they did go out, he had somebody going with them to watch all their activity.
Oh, is that right? See that? All right, I missed that.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll tell you, between Epstein and Diddy and all these people, now even, I don't know if it's true or not, I don't know any details, but even I heard just something the other day, Smokey Robinson has now been accused of sexual assault by, I think by 2 or 3 women so far. And Cosby, all these people, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And I know, and I've said this before on here. We make jokes on here. We definitely, kind of get close to the line, and and I've been accused of being creepy on this show. It's all joking around. It's all messing around. I would never in a million years do half the shit I even say on this show, let alone what these people are accused of.
Yeah.
And some people will say, well, back then, people didn't know better, or I'm sorry, I don't care what decade or what era you grew up in. Hugh Hefner, who's been dead for, I think, maybe 10 years, started pulling this shit. Well, Playboy, what, in the 60s, I think, started?
Playboy, I think 56, I think
50, okay.
Marilyn Monroe was the first.
Right, yeah. So I'm sorry, I don't give a shit what decade you're in. This shit is unacceptable. He should have never gotten away with any of this shit.
No.
Cosby giving these girls Spanish flies, I think they said at least going back to the 70s, never acceptable. How these people get away with this shit for such a long time? And in Epstein's case, and I don't give a shit if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Bill Clinton hung out with him for you Democrats, and Trump hung out with him for you Republicans. I don't give a shit what side you're on.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind that these people were getting their pockets lined. I'm not saying that they knew everything. Like Clinton and Trump have denied knowing anything. Trump, to be fair, Trump did eventually throw Epstein out of his life. And it's documented. It's factual. This isn't hearsay. Trump did throw Epstein out of his life. You'd like to assume maybe because he found out what was going on. Who knows? But for these people to get away with this shit for such a long time, they all need to be thrown away. Anybody that knew about any of this shit. And the fact that, and why? Where are these people coming from? Why are all these famous people doing weird shit?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if I'm Hugh Hefner, and Bill Cosby,
Harvey Weinstein.
right? I have access to every beautiful woman in the world. All right. Oh, this one said, all right, Christy Brinkley said no. Oh, Elle McPherson said yes. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to drug them.
No.
I don't need to go after 15-year-olds. You know, Elle McPherson's still fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
And she's our age.
Christy Brinkley, beautiful.
She's 71. She's starting to look a little too plastic for me. But yes,
I'm trying to think.
but I wouldn't throw her out of bed.
Yeah.
A 15-year-old wants to sleep with me? No thanks.
That's gross.
That's very gross. I'll tell you what, 15-year-old, send your mom over.
Yeah. So the documentary is called Secrets of Playboy on Hulu.
Secrets of Playboy
Secrets
on
of Playboy
Hulu.
on
Okay.
Hulu. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, what was the matter with this guy?
Right.
He's got all this money and he has to do this?
Right. And he
Insanity?
runs a magazine that takes pictures of naked women. You're telling me that some of those women aren't willingly going to bed with him? Like, do you have to force them? I would bet you 1 out of every 10 is saying yes.
Yeah.
On her, to her own will. 1 out of every 10 is plenty.
That's it's nuts.
I don't get it. I don't get it, and I find it very disturbing. Because, these are just the famous rich people that we're hearing about.
Right.
Who knows what's, on your block. It's crazy.
And these famous rich people, they have money.
Right.
So why do you got to
do it? Well, I think a lot of times it's, these guys, it's not just the sex, it's the power. Let me get this over on you. But again, when you have that kind of money, you can do anything you want.
When you see some ugly bastard walking down the street and he's got a piece of arm candy that is like, doesn't match the scenario, like,
Yep.
Yeah.
He either drugged her or he bought her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is just disgusting. It's unbelievable. It boggles and the fact that they're getting away with it. I'm sorry. And that's why I say that everybody who knew about it should be tossed in jail too, because there's no way you're going to tell me that, like in Hugh Hefner's case, where was the Playboy Mansion? California?
Yeah. Yeah, Beverly Hills.
You're going to tell me some person of authority didn't know what was going on in there?
Yeah. Oh,
bullshit.
No, all his people knew it.
Right.
All his guards and security personnel and stuff like that.
That's just
watch that documentary. You're gonna see who knew.
That's just like here, out in Suffolk County, that police chief that got thrown in jail.
Yeah.
He. Did you see that documentary? What's it called?
Rex Heuermann?
Yeah, the latest one. The new one.
Yeah.
What's it called? Gone Girl? Is that what it's called? Gone Baby? Gone Girls?
I forget.
Something like that. But they cover it's the first.
It's very
the first documentary on Rex that I've seen that covers every aspect, and they get into that.
Yeah, you had the DA end up in jail.
Thomas Spoda
and the
police chief,
police chief or commissioner.
Commissioner, sorry,
commissioner.
Burke.
Something like that. Yeah.
Burke. What the hell's his first name?
Because his car was broken into or something.
Right.
And
so
they
that
took his duffel bag out,
and it was all sex toys
and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Turns out he was having orgies like crazy, and then he beat the shit out of that kid that stole the duffel bag.
Yeah.
And then he ended up in jail, and and then what was that? Just last summer. Yeah. So he went to jail for a few years. Then he went to Florida. Sure enough, he ends up back here on Long Island, getting arrested because he was meeting what he thought was a 15-year-old girl in a park. And then when they arrested him, it was male police officers. He said to them, "Do you know who I am?" They're like, "Yeah, we know who you are. You're Burke." He goes, "Well, I'll blow all of you if you don't arrest me right now."
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, real piece of shit.
Oh.
So it's nice to see these guys get what's coming to them, but
sickos.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. Like, where are all these sickos coming from? Why are there so many? So then this other thing. I read another article this morning. Dean Cain. Remember Dean Cain? He played Superman.
Yep. Yeah.
Very politically outspoken actor.
Is he now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been for a few years.
One of them.
Yeah, but I think it's on the Republican side. But still, I don't want to hear.
Again, I don't want you pushing your agenda, whether you're supporting the same people I do or not.
Right. Wasn't he a college football player?
I don't know.
I think he might have been. But all right. So this struck me as weird too. So when he was in the 5th grade, a friend of his calls him up. Dean, you got to come over to the house right now. My buddy's like, you got to get over here. I found my dad's old Playboys, and I have them here. Come, let's check them out. So he runs over there. So again, he's in 5th grade, and yeah, we've all been there when we were little kids.
Yeah.
I think no matter what group of friends you were in, at least one of them found Daddy's Playboy stash, and then you spent an afternoon while Daddy's at work, just looking at them all.
This page is stuck together. I can't turn.
Yeah, I don't know
My
why.
father's gonna know.
So Dean Cain goes over to his friend's house. The friend is looking at this one particular magazine. Dean's looking at another, but the friend is like, Dean, look at this one. Look at this one. Well, and the kid's going on especially about her ass. So Dean looks at it. Mm-hmm. He goes, well, guess what, pal? That's my mom. His mom was a model, and she's in Playboy. Mm-hmm. So this is all new stuff, like new quotes. So Dean Cain says, Mom's hot. Yeah, there's no question. His mother was a Miss Michigan, and she worked as a Playboy bunny in the Playboy clubs. And he says, yeah, my mom's hot. She's 78, but you know and I know 4 other people went to dinner and you took a glass of red wine and you just kind of swiped it under her nose. She'd be on the bar dancing. This is what he's saying about his mom. He didn't even feel that bad when he saw the magazine, because the kid didn't know it was Dean's mother. Oh no, it wasn't embarrassing. Didn't even think twice about it. I was like, yeah, that's my mom, dude. The kid was like, what? We laughed about it for over an hour. We laughed so hard we couldn't even speak. What? I'm sorry, but if I saw my mother in a Playboy, I think I would have packed my bags. I don't care if I'm in the 5th grade.
No, that's insane.
No. You do not say, yeah, my mom's hot. You do not laugh about it.
Yeah.
What in the world is wrong with you people? Dean Cain, go to a psychiatrist.
When did he discuss this?
I just read this morning. This is like as far as I know, it's a brand new thing.
Let's see.
And his mom, yeah, pretty lady. Definitely.
I was gonna say, did you look her up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And even for 78, she still looks pretty good. So you can understand her being a model.
Yeah.
And that's great. And I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, as a 5th grader, I understand people do things for money. But when you have little kids, I do think you should use a little discretion. But even for the kid to see this, and then laugh about it,
that's.
No, I'm sorry. Something's not right.
Sharon Thomas, her name is.
Okay.
Yeah. Very strange.
Let's see. Let me go back and read comments.
Very strange.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. Getting rear-ended in the car is known as the deliverance. Says from take the car away from until he knows the rules. Okay. Blowing a red light. Oh, I read that one already, unfortunately. Just heard on the news they added P. Diddy to Mount Touchmore. Oh, front. P. Diddy's home is probably covered in Jay-Z. Oh,
God.
Bosie, I don't know if there's anything that has to do with Hugh Hefner. What? I don't know if there's anything that has to do with Hugh Hefner. It's not like you were going into it knowing. It's not like you went into it knowing that it wasn't a church retreat. All right, yeah, I'll give you that, Jeff. I'll give you that. But I'm sure these girls knew they were getting involved in nudity. But being forced to have sex with Hugh Hefner. He died at what, 80s, 90s. Some of these girls were banging the guy when he was in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
His last wife, I think, was only 21 when he married her. Something like that.
Something crazy.
I'm with you, Jeff. I'm sure a lot of these girls knew what they were getting into, and I'm not a fan of these girls that do all this tell-all stuff after somebody's dead. But like you said, some of them were scared to leave. But I go back and forth on this stuff. Fremder, I'll never forget the day when I heard P. Diddy was Justin Bieber. Oh, my goodness. It sounds like 50 Shades of Grey Hound. That's funny, Fremder.
Yeah.
That's funny. P. Diddy accused of gang rap. I heard they're redoing Epstein's documentary on Netflix with George Clooney calling it "Oh, She's 11." Oh.
He comes up with some good ones.
Once in a while he does. Lieutenant Burke plug.
Yeah.
Bosie says he wants Tracy Lords. Yeah, I think I did try to look up information on her to possibly get her on here. I'll have to look up some more. I'm not sure, but yeah, I would love to get her on here. That'd be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
The day I found my dad's Playboy was the day I broke my dick. Whoa, what the? All right, Vicky, they all don't forget R. Kelly. Get power and have their people to keep stuff safe and separate to protect the celebrities. They all get power and have their people. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what it is. Whether it's people, like a politician or the authorities. Yeah, they all. That's what I was saying. They get their pockets lined, and it's disgusting. And so they should be in jail too, all of them. Mm-hmm. Anybody that had any knowledge of any kind as to what was going on, and I hope they do. I hope their names come out.
Oh, when you see all this, the Epstein Island scenarios that you hear about and all that craziness, that's just insane. Insane.
And again, you can't. When somebody like Hugh Hefner has all these women walking around, like, I don't know, just that alone, there's a red flag. A guy like Jeffrey Epstein has his own island. Come on.
That's insane.
Right. Something isn't right. It's awful.
No doubt. He was offed. He was offed in jail.
Oh, no doubt in my mind.
He was taken care of in jail. All of a sudden, those cameras weren't working that night, and a guard was sick, and he had to go to the bathroom, and all.
Which.
That's how powerful the Clintons are.
Yes. Yeah, probably. Well, yeah, you know what? But let's be fair. It's not just the Clintons.
Oh, no. I'm saying, no, of course not. No. I'm just saying, I wouldn't doubt they had him offed.
Now, I know it's not really the right thing to say, but I have no problem with them offing him.
Yeah, I don't either.
Which I know is not the right thing to say.
But it'd be better if if he wasn't, so you can get more people held accountable.
And see, that's where I was going. He wasn't offed because he did such terrible shit. He was off because other people were protecting themselves.
Yeah, to protect others.
So he wasn't off for the right reasons. Yeah. And I am shocked that Diddy is still around.
Yeah.
I thought for sure
by
by now.
Hollywood is shitting a brick right now.
Exactly.
Because of what he knows.
Right. I mean, you've already heard names like Denzel. His name has come up, and he said flat out, I had absolutely no clue what was going on. And there was somebody else too.
Not
Jay-Z.
Everybody that went to his parties were included in the freak off that time.
Right, because they were like they didn't start till like 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah, something.
And even Denzel was like, I never stayed at his house past midnight. So I mean, but even Jay-Z, like he was accused too.
Garbage too.
But if you notice. And I don't know if it's money or maybe there was just no substance to it, but his name came up, and it was starting. And now all of a sudden, boom, you don't hear his name anymore. So I don't, Same with Shatner when his wife was killed. Like he was the only one home or some shit, and like
I forget.
Same thing, and then all of a sudden you just stopped hearing about that on the news.
She drowned?
Yeah, she drowned, but he was the only one there.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think there was more to it. I don't remember, but the whole thing was weird. Scott, the 5th grade needs to show better judgment. That's right. No, I'm not saying they shouldn't look. You're in 5th grade. I remember being like 6th grade or so, and me and John Donovan were on the field of.
John Donovan, God, I've heard that name.
Oh,
100 years.
he moved, I think, in 9th grade. But me and him were almost best friends in elementary school. We were on the fields of Dutch Lane, and we came across. We just happened to find a penthouse just laying on the ground, and yeah, we sat there and looked at it. But my point is, if you're looking at it, Scott, how would you feel, Scott? You're saying the 5th grade needs to show better judgment. I know he's joking. But, Scott, how would you feel? Even forget 5th grade. Now. I don't want to see any nudies of my mother.
No. Fuck. No. That's not. No.
You should have seen her yesterday. She got so drunk. She was like destroying my house. She kicked the dog.
Your mother?
Yeah.
Nice. Glad she had a good time.
It's awful.
Good for her.
And then they had to leave. They ended up having to take her home early because she was just distraught and throwing up. It was disgusting. It was not a good show for my mother.
I'm glad she had fun.
Yeah, it was gross.
Poor mom.
She still thinks people take me seriously when I talk about that. I don't think I've seen my mother drunk.
Do you
once.
mean it's not true?
I know you respect my mother more when you hear these stories. Truth be told, I've seen my mother drunk once. I think I was like 7 or 8, maybe 9 or 10. 10 at the most. And we lived with my grandmother until I was 12. And my mother went to a Christmas party for her job. And she came home, and for a kid as young as I was, I didn't know what in the world was going on, but she was acting weird. She's kind of slurring a little bit. I was like, what? I was kind of looking at her funny. And my grandmother's standing there trying to talk to her, and my mother goes to the sink, pours herself a glass of water. This was late 70s, so we didn't have bottled water yet. Still drinking out of the tap. So I'm my mother. Grandma's right there. She says something to my mother. My mother goes, "What?" I laughed my ass off. But then my grandmother started screaming because my grandmother was old school Catholic. Like, you didn't get much more Catholic than my grandmother. We had the Virgin Mary statue outside, like the whole. We had, Levitt House. Remember before, like the original. Yeah. They had the stairs, and then the wall where the stairs were had the little indentation with the TV. Yeah. My grandmother had that indentation expanded. Took the TV out, and it was all religious statues and crosses and beads. We did the rosary almost every night. Oh, yeah, it was something. And so drinking was, a big sin to my grandmother. She was screaming at my mother, screaming. So I went, my mother went like that. I go from laughing to now confusion because I don't know what she was in trouble for. My mother goes upstairs. Her bedroom was upstairs at the time, so she walks up, and I'm just kind of watching the whole thing. So my grandmother's still yelling from downstairs. She's still yelling up. So finally, I interrupt. I go, "What happened?" And she said to me, "Well, your mother's sick." I said, "Well, why are you yelling at her?" And she said, "Well, because she could have stopped it." I was like, "Oh, okay." But not realizing until years later what had really happened. Let's see. Pockets aren't the only things getting lined. Yeah, that's true, Frender. Absolutely right. I thought the red flag would have been the commander-in-chief on the Epstein flight logged 16 times, but then again, what do I know? Yeah. Mary on the half shell, says Romeo. Yep, absolutely right. So, all right, we got a few minutes left. Wow, this kind of went fast. I'm doing a lot of rambling today.
Fast.
It did go fast.
It did.
It's nice to be back. Nice to be back.
All that time spent up, built up that you haven't been here.
But that went fast too. Like, it doesn't feel to me like 5 days. It doesn't feel 4.
You still you had the weekend. And...
Yeah, I guess because I was just so busy. Yeah, and then today I've been running around like crazy because I got a meeting for Sammy Services this afternoon. We have Steve Squared tonight at 6:30 right here in the studio. And then we're filming some Comic Sans after that. Oh, that's what I have to do. I have to make the big announcement.
Oh, yes, that's right.
So this week,
new shows.
So this week, last week was a little nuts with our schedule since the studio was closed last week. But even now, Thursday nights in May, it's just bad for me. I just have stuff going on. So Nick Greystone, Primal Scream, he'll be on tomorrow. It's either 7 or 7:30. I think it's 7 that Nick is on. So that's this. And then be no Primal Scream this Thursday, and then even the following Thursday I have something going on. But so Nick Greystone this Tuesday. So we have we have Steve Squared tonight at 6:30. Tomorrow, Coffee with the Dog at 9. We're on at 11. Diane will be here. Oh, and I think we have a guest tomorrow. James Thompson, our good friend. Cigar guy with the duck puppet. He hasn't been here in a long time, but I think he's joining me and Diane tomorrow. I think. So that's, and then of course we have Peter Schwartz at 1, special Tuesday edition of Primal Scream, and then Hershey and the Keegs tomorrow night. As usual, Circle the Drain Wednesday. Of course, Donversations Friday, and I'll talk to Don. Maybe. I can get in here this weekend for Green Room if Don's around, and we'll make that happen. So, but then next week, starting every Tuesday at 7, as far as I know, every Tuesday at 7, Details are still sketchy, but I know the first episode is next Tuesday at 7. I don't even know the title yet, and I don't know what's planned. But next Tuesday at 7, Chris Roach.
Oh, okay.
Starting a brand new podcast here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Chris Roach had a podcast in here a long time ago, Comedians on Hockey, with Anthony DiDomenico and John Truson. Then he was doing other podcasts. He did the Long Island thing with Steve Belanger. What was that called? Long Island Explained, where they would talk about famous stories that took place on Long Island, and they would, I think, sometimes would go to these locations and talk about them. But, finally bringing his act over here to Gov's Comedy Club Podcast next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. I don't have a title. I don't know who's with him. I don't know if it's every week, but we'll see. We're just happy he's going to be here.
I wonder if we could maybe have him as a guest next Monday morning to discuss what it might
promote
be
it
on Tuesday.
That's a great idea. I will ask him. I do know, because he's a comedian and he thinks he's a rock star, and he lives around Konkoma, he doesn't like to get up early.
Yes.
The last
This
time
is very important, though.
Yeah. Oh, I know. The last time he was a guest on this show, he Zoomed it.
Right.
Because he was too lazy to drive that half hour.
Yes. It was actually on my birthday.
That's right.
I was not here.
That's right.
Because we were trying to get him to come in on a Monday, and he ended up doing it.
I think it was a Thursday or a
Friday, and it was my birthday that day, and he wished me happy birthday.
Maybe I'll tell him, even if he comes in at noon.
Yeah.
He just
spends a half hour.
Right. And maybe, do I have anything going on? If I don't have anything going on, maybe we'll leave and offer him lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll take him to the sweet shop. You like the sweet shop, yes?
Love the sweet shop.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
I know. We've had this conversation before. For some reason, I thought you didn't like the sweet shop.
No, I love the sweet shop.
Yeah, okay.
The booths might be a little small for a man his size, though.
Well, they have the chairs in the back.
True, yeah. Very true.
Isn't everything too small for him?
Probably.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah. But I gotta say, if you don't do sweet shop, you go right across the street to Miller's.
To where?
To Miller's across the street.
Oh.
Either or.
Now you're looking to get the guy look it up.
Oh, well, that's...
You're pulling an Epstein. No,
Epstein?
No, Diddy.
Oh,
or Cosby. Any of them.
Can't it be a Skelsey?
Well, all right. Well, yeah, because...
No, I don't want my name associated with that stuff.
I was going to say, but Roach is in his 50s. Those guys weren't going after 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
So doing a Skelsey is getting somebody of age.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're still getting them lick it up to take advantage of them.
I don't know.
Got to do what you got to do?
I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah, I hear you.
Trying to break out.
All right, so that's the story. Very excited. I've been trying to get Roach in here. We've been having conversations off and on. I want to say it's got to be 3 years about him doing a podcast in here. I can't tell you how many times I've bothered him. And speaking of Anthony DiDomenico, who used to do the hockey podcast with him, I do believe that's Nick Graystone's guest tomorrow. Pretty sure that's his guest tomorrow. Ann says, have a nice day. Ann always says, have a nice day before we finish the show.
She does.
I think it's her way of saying, okay, stop. I've had enough of you.
Oh, that could be.
And there's John saying goodbye as well. So, Tuesday trivia tomorrow with Diane. Coffee the Dog before us. Peter Schwartz after us. Nick Greystone, Primal Scream. Hershey and the Keeks. Yeah, we got a busy day tomorrow. But that's it. Anything... No?
Nah, nothing, man.
Are we... so, Don Sill wants to go see David Lee Roth.
Really?
At the Paramount. Yeah, so I think I have to go. And I think also The Who. I think I want to go see The Who at Jones Beach.
They're coming to Jones Beach?
They're playing Jones Beach.
Really?
And supposedly it's their last tour. I mean, I know they've said it before.
We've been hearing that since like 1982.
Yes, but...
I would go to that.
They're 80 years old, so I'm kind of thinking it is their
I would go.
Yeah?
Let's
all right.
go.
Ticketbash.com. I'm going to hit up my friend Vinny at ticketbash.com, see what he can do for us.
Yeah.
All right, so, but you're in for David, you're in just The Who, for
I would
not
do The Who, yeah.
But not David Lee.
Man.
No, okay. Yeah, I don't have high expectations.
Yeah.
I did watch it on YouTube. Somebody posted the whole show,
of
this new tour he's doing. I was not impressed, but he is doing all Van Halen. He's doing no solo stuff. And Don thought it sounded great.
He is doing Van Halen.
It's all Van
Really?
Halen, not a single solo tune.
I'm surprised they're
Yankee-
allowing him.
Well, yeah. I think he still owns a chunk of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Sammy is not allowed.
Sammy's doing it.
Is he?
He's been playing Las Vegas, and he's doing.
I thought there's been a rift between him and Alex.
Yes, there's been a rift between him and the whole Van Halen family, but he's doing it anyway. I saw Sammy last summer, and he played. I would say 3/4 of it was Van Halen.
Okay.
Oh, it was great. I'm a big Sammy guy. I take Sammy over Dave. But
How much is? Did you look at how much David Lee's charging?
$100. It's not bad, but it's not great.
No.
I saw.
I don't have spare $100 laying around.
Right. Well, that's why I'm calling Vinny at Ticket Bass. See if he can help me out.
Yeah.
And
when is that show?
In August, and the Who is July. I don't remember the exact days, but yeah. But this is kind of cool. I saw Sammy last summer, and now I see David Lee, and I saw Extreme 2 years ago. They were only $55 at the Paramount, and Living Color opened up.
Oh, wow.
What a show that was. If you like Living Color, they're playing next week at the Patchogue Theater.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
next week. Or is it this week? May 15th, whenever that is. That's next week. That's a great band, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and I had never seen either one of them. That was a great show. Me and Don had a blast. What a great show that was.
Nice.
Extreme. Do you like Extreme?
Yeah.
Their last album came out a year or two ago. It's called Six. It's got a big shot of a gorilla on the cover.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you.
It was good. Yeah.
I was blown away how good this album was.
Really?
It was one of the best albums I've heard in 25 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, just go on YouTube to hear it first before you buy it. I'm telling you, you will be like, wow, this is awesome. Yeah. I haven't heard an album that good in such a long time.
Wow.
Okay. Especially if you like Van Halen, that type of stuff.
Yeah. No,
all right.
That's awesome.
Oh, you know what? I didn't read the lineup for this weekend. So, yeah, keep it here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast because we got a lot of good stuff going on. And, of course, govs.com. Who's playing the club this weekend, you ask? Well, Thursday night here at the club, Anthony Robustiano. He's playing the main club here Thursday night. This weekend here at the main club, Steve Heitner. Who is Steve Heitner, you ask?
I can tell you who Steve Heitner is.
Tell us.
He was on Seinfeld as Jerry's friend.
What was his name?
Oh, crap. My brain farted.
Banya.
That's it.
Banya.
Thank you. Banya.
Banya will be here.
Not Banyo. That's bathroom.
That's right. Banya will be here. He's great. He actually has a great comedy act. So that's this weekend here in the main club. Our very own Rosie Fiumara playing the Giga Room this Friday. Peter Anthony's in that show, too. So is our pal Lou Pratt's. Sunday, I think it's in the Giga Room, our pal Tom Kelly will be here. Maybe I'll do Green Room Sunday night. Tom Kelly playing the Green Room Sunday. The Giggle Room.
He's playing in the Green Room. It's awfully packed in there.
Yeah.
A little tight.
Maybe I'll try and get Tom Kelly in here on this week. Carol Montgomery is playing, I think that's the Brokerage. There's an open mic at the Brokerage Friday for the Late Show Friday night. Mike Fenoya is playing playing McGuire's this weekend, and our pal Ivory Fields will also be, I believe it's McGuire's this weekend as well. Go to govs.com, check out the schedule, see what's going on, and make some reservations to some great comedy shows. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com, baby. We've been working. We're kicking ass, and our next public show is in Hicksville.
June 6th.
June 6th, that is correct.
And I have a wedding.
Really? Who's getting married?
Gracie's gymnastics coach.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, all the way out east.
See that? And just a couple miles from your house, you could have been hanging out with Knockem Dead Comedy. Oh, well. June 6th. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com. Check out our schedule, as well as info on how you can hire us for your event. All right. And with that, we are out of here. Thank you, pal, as always.
Man, good time as always.
I will definitely try to get Roach for next Monday.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. We'll see you tonight with Steve Squared. All right. See you later.
Bye-bye.